don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who, back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check, but they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
And this was when?
This was back in the 90s.
Like to Donald Trump, like real quick, I'm gonna just touch on this real quick. You guys remember when the whole George Floyd situation happened in 2020, and Trump had went on and he called looters, thugs, and etc. Oh, the black community, they went crazy. Oh, he's calling all black people thugs and hoodlums and da-da-da. What do you call people that's doing that? That's smashing into buildings, stores, stealing all the TVs, computers, laptops, cell phones. What do you call people that do things like that? That's a thug. And it's really hard to took that one twist and ran a narrative with it that Trump calling all black people thugs and hoodlums. He didn't say that. That's what he called the looters. But you see how they twist the narrative right there? Man. Like how do I didn't fall for it. Like how do people fall for that? Because they were in an uproar. We gotta get him out the White House. I can't wait to vote him out of there. And what did we get? We got Joe Biden. What did he do? Besides inflation, high gas prices, what did he do? Besides make things worse. And remember when we went in there, the vaccine, the mandate, it got harder.
See, most people don't even know this. He had a sister. He was, every time you saw him back in the 90s, fine paper bag, brown, beautiful black model. He likes fine women. He didn't have any problem with dating a black woman, walking her down red carpets. So, I mean, she says he's not a racist. He just doesn't like many people, black or white. And he appreciates people who do stuff within their lane. Well, not stay in their lane, but where they choose to be. If they do it well, he admires them. Black, white, brown, red, yellow. Most people don't know this. He was the finance man behind Jesse Jackson's 2 runs for president.
Wow.
Oh.
So, you know, he talks, but I don't mind somebody talking. I think we've gotten too sensitive to that. That's part of the effeminization of the country. I remember in junior high and high school, "Hey, man, I won't say nothing, man, but last night when I saw your mama, man, you don't know I was over there because you were asleep, man." But blah, 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 blah. We ran the dozens. That was our sport. Mm-hmm. So we were used to talking about each other. Now, man, he talking about my mama, man. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. Do you think Trump will get reelected?
For you answer that question, I sitting there, I was just saying, it's like they take that one ever and they ran with that. We should have a little more toughness. We know what he meant. Like he didn't mean to call black people thugs. He didn't mean it in that way. He meant the looters, and we still fell for that. And now things are now, and this was like 4 years ago. We have become so soft as a society. You can't say anything without offending somebody. It's ridiculous.
I think he's going to get reelected. This impeachment mess we've got right now, there's a thing called the U.S. Constitution, and the Constitution says the president is the chief diplomatic officer of the United States. It puts no limits on his discretion. It simply says that if he comes up with any treaties, they have to be ratified by the Senate. If a treaty is ratified by the Senate, it becomes part of the supreme law of the land. The president and other elected and appointed officials are under oath required to follow the law of the land. The State Department, Secretary of State are part of his cabinet and are essentially advisors to the president. He's the boss. So what he does relative to Biden is simply what is allowed and mandated by the Constitution, specifically Article 1, Section 8, that says the president is charged with, quote, enforcing the law of nations. We have an Interpol treaty with various European states, and also one specifically with the Ukraine that requires that we basically investigate, apprehend, prosecute, extradite criminal elements and criminality. So Biden, out of his own mouth, and I've heard this tape twice, January this year, he says, well, 2019, he says, I guess I broke some laws, extortion. I told the Ukrainians if they didn't get rid of this,
The
prosecutor's name is
the
Scola, I think.
Anti-corruption prosecutor.
Yeah,
in
he said if you
Ukraine,
don't get rid of him, we'd withhold $85 billion in loan guarantees. So his son, who had just been discharged for the military for being a junkie,
Wow. Look how this was almost 4 years ago. Look what's going on right now with his son. And he's there with 4 years and he's still a junkie. Look what's going on right now in Ukraine. War. Who just visited Ukraine? Joe Biden. Yo, we've been having discussion about this at work. There's more to what they're telling us about what's really going on with Ukraine. There's more that meets the eye. Give me you guys thinking about that in the comments. I don't think it's what they're saying that it is. I think it's more to what the story really is.
had a drug problem, had no history in business. He affiliates with this, and at the time, Biden was in charge of the U.S.'s Ukrainian posture and relations. Obama had assigned him
Obama run. Yeah, I remember that.
And by implication,
Wow.
he brought Obama into committing a crime in office, which is a felony. It's extortion. He committed one, extortion, by out of his own mouth, threatening to withhold $85 billion in loan guarantees if they didn't get rid of this prosecutor who was zeroing in on that corporation that his son had just been hired to represent after Biden Sr. had been assigned by the president the task of dealing with Ukrainian diplomacy. So son gets $18.5 million out of it, and he has no background other than a dishonorable discharge from the armed services for drug abuse.
Wow. So, we've been hearing about that. Who I heard saying about that? I think it was Ben Shapiro. And I forget the other guy. Who was it? Officer Tandem. He was saying the same thing. This dude had pretty much no experience in the position that they put him in. Like how you go around with prostitutes, you doing drugs and what? And you just, if he wasn't Joe Biden's son, he would have been in jail already. He would have been in prison.
But one last question. Do you think black people are missing an opportunity with Trump?
Oh, yeah. See, you've got somebody that is not a lifetime Republican. He's been a blue dog Democrat for most of his life. He usurped the Republican Party. So I think this thing I've been tweeting about, no benefit, no vote, ought to be the deal. We haven't gotten a damn thing out of the Democratic Party for a long time. And the last one, number 44, and the one before that, 43, Bush and Obama. Well, there are pictures of Bush with his arm around 8-year-old Barack Obama because his stepdaddy, adopted daddy, Lolo Sotoro, had done a lifetime worth of business with the Bushes.
Wow.
Uncle George Herbert Walker, after whom George Herbert Walker Bush, Bush 1 president, was named, founded Halliburton in 1946 in Oklahoma. And Lolo Sotoro had been international executive vice president for Standard Oil.
There was talk of him being a CIA asset.
Well, yeah,
in
see,
Indonesia.
he ran the death squads for the Indonesian army. On his own call, anyone could be assassinated. So when George Herbert Walker Bush became head of the CIA under the Ford administration, he just got with his old buddy in the oil business, Lolo Soetoro, and pulled off the hits. See,
I heard that name before.
Barack's grandmother has been acknowledged as being the woman that operated the channels through which CIA money went to the Southwest Pacific. So she introduced her daughter, who had just had Barack, to Lolo Soetoro, and they got married, and Lolo Soetoro adopted Barack Obama. The name was changed to Barry Soetoro. Now, when he went to high school in Hawaii, I know about that high school. I almost sent my oldest son to it. I could afford it, but I didn't think he deserved it. 20 years ago, the tuition was $95,000 a year, not including room and board. When Obama went there, I've talked to two of his classmates. They independently state that the tuition, not including room and board, was $45,000. Now, Business Insider reports his income for 2017 at over $200 million net. That's after taxes, deductions, write-offs. For this last year, 2018, they reported it as $570 plus million. And that's after all deductions, tax, right? Trump doesn't make that net. I mean, even some of the richest people in America don't make that. Why? Because when his stepdaddy died, he was one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. And he left everything in a trust fund operated out of Indonesia, so the American government can't touch it. That makes Barack Obama 1/3 beneficiary for the assets of one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth.
Wow.
See, so we got a game run on us. So, you know that little thing that Bush W does when he gets with Michelle, they giggle and he gives her candy. The inside thing, is that supposed to be the same kind of candy he used to give to her husband when he was 6, 7, 8 years old?
Oh, wow.
Hey, shout out to Joe Brown for that. Wow, that was only what? That was a 9-minute video. And we got so much information in that 9 minutes is unbelievable. And that's why I was saying to myself, like, when are you actually hearing? This was years ago. I was saying to myself, me and one of the guy at work, he's an older guy. Like he's into all this type of stuff, politics, the government, the CIA. He's into all of that type of stuff. And we were saying that, like, where did Obama get all this money from? Do you see his mansion? Did you see the size of that thing? For what? Former president? I was just speechless. He didn't. He did nothing for the black community. In those 8 years, nothing. Look at all the stuff we had about Ukraine, money laundering. Yeah, you had all of this type of stuff. All this was hush-hush, suppressed. This is the part of that's why I don't trust the government. It's too much. It's just too many people with dirty hands in there. I don't trust the government whatsoever. A lot of people was for Obama. Obama was just a sweet talker. He knows how to. He knew how to win the people over. And he knows the black community been wanting. Well, I would say Obama was like a puppet too. They knew that we wanted a black president, and they used that to their advantage. What was Trump so bad about in his 4 years his run? Besides him sending up mean tweets and not sugarcoating anything. That's one thing I loved about Trump. I like people that speak their mind and tell you the truth, even though they know it hurts you. I'd rather take that than Joe Biden lying. Just lying. He lied to our face live on TV. So he got in the White House, everything he said, half of what he said he was going to do, didn't even do it. People lost their jobs. They got fired, even after being on the job for 20 years. We fell for all of this? Nah. He gotta go. He gotta go. He gots to go. Give me guys think about this in the comments. You guys see my jaw was out of this. I never heard of this stuff. I mean, I heard the stuff about Joe Biden's son. He did not deserve that, but it's so many people that deserve that position that was given to him. He had no experience. You seen him all over the world traveling with prostitutes, doing drugs and all type of nonsense. I'm sick of him. What the hell is in his damn laptop? Man, this gets me all fired up, man, because the system is so crooked and they're getting away with all this type of stuff. And Minister Trump says one thing out of line, oh my God, they blow it out of proportion just to cover up the other things that they are doing. Let me know in the comments, man. Hey, until then, I'll catch you guys next video. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.